Hello, dear friends. Mind creates problems that doesn't exist. The body somatizes them, and the spirit dissipates them with detachment when we don't give them importance and let them pass. Opinion piece. April feels strange. Difficult times. Spring madness. Dimensional shift. Time compression. Strange April days. Like the Tarot Tower. April without anesthesia. Temporary disconnection. April is the promise of May. Things are going to get weighed. Something happens on a cosmic level. Let's start. Happy April. This year is flying by. Does the same thing happen to you? I think we are experiencing a kind of time compression. I think we are going through a profound dimensional shift right now, says Saratoga Ocean. Something is happening on a cosmic level. In fact, I am struggling to find words to adequately describe what I see. The perception of time can also influence how April feels. During exceptional situations such as quarantine, months have been described as feeling accelerated or prolonged. April, for example, may seem to pass quickly or generate a sense of temporary disconnection. Rebirth. April is the month of spring and rebirth, and it can be perceived as a period of introspection and intense feelings. This month can be filled with nostalgia for some people. In that case, it is linked to the memory of a lost loved one. April can bring back memories that make the time seem more emotional or melancholic. April can feel strange because of its ability to evoke deep emotions, nostalgic memories, or unique perception of time. Its symbolism as a transitional month between seasons also contributes to that peculiar feeling. April is described as a month filled with changing emotions, related to strange days or introspective moments that anticipate important changes. Poetry. Vanessa Martin reflects in her song, April, deep emotions related to love and the fears that consume time. Rosario Flores, with the song written by her brother Antonio, describes April as a month full of magic, dreams, and promises of love. Pablo López, with his song April, Abril sin recuperación, or April without anesthesia, conveys a sense of vulnerability and emotional honesty. April gives a spirit of youth to everything. According to William Shakespeare, April is a promise that May must keep, according to Hal Borland. They may cut off all the flowers, but they cannot stop the spring, according to Pablo Neruda. As long as there is a spring in the world, there will be poetry, according to Gustavo Adolfo Becker. A little madness in spring is healthy, even for the king, according to Emily Dickinson. Nature is pleased with simplicity, said Isaac Newton. Adopt the rhythm of nature. Its secret is patience, said Ralph Waldo Emerson. If we could see the miracle of a single flower clearly, it would change our whole lives, said Buddha. Strange things. Our earthly language is primitive. Our words and concepts only serve the small, conditioned world where we have been taught to live in. And now that world is crumbling. Things are going to get very strange for many people who aren't prepared for what's coming. We have always been anchored in one dimension, the three-dimensional world of duality, to be exact. For us, the other dimensions were out there somewhere. May we could connect with them temporarily, but we couldn't live in them. So, our troubled world always felt solid. We knew to some extent where we were and how things worked. So we learned to live with the patterns of this world very effectively. But now everything is falling apart, and I have the strange feeling that another dimension is intruding and matching with this one. I suspect the laws of physics we thought we knew so well are going to be transformed. We may already be entering a multidimensional state. The universe is much more complicated than we knew. In this case, if this is the case, what is our anchor in reality? It's important to feel grounded, regardless of the reality we find ourselves in. We all need secure reference points in our existence. To find a new order of life, we will need to evolve to a higher state of being. And we must do it now. Your true self is amazing and magical. This is the self that is completely comfortable with a higher level of being. This is your creative side that thrives on greater inspiration. This is the self that is naturally connected to a much higher level of intelligence that is not limited to the physical brain. So I invite you to contemplate this as often as you can. It's time for us to foster a personal resurrection of who we were always meant to be. That's where we will find our strength and joy in the coming days. Difficulties. According to Morgan, the way this realm works is stupid. Slavery not only to society, but also to your own body. How much time does each person spend on what they have to do or what they want to do? How many things had to die so you could live? How much freedom do you have to be yourself? How much do you have to compromise because of your life situation? Isn't it wonderful to be a victim of circumstances? What is life like out there in 3D country? Sierra asks. I notice people with unresolved karmic patterns are getting hit hard. There is a reason for that. This is your last chance to work through these issues while the 3D matrix is still barely intact. Many of us have loved ones going through difficult times, whether financially, emotionally, or trying to break away from toxic relationships. Avoiding the situation by self-medicating with junk food, alcohol, workaholism, or any other distraction does not resolve the situations. I recommend you clear out all your karmic baggage. Accept it openly and take the action that screams at you in your mind. That's your higher self screaming to get your attention before it's too late. If you resist, you will fall like the tarot tower. Tower moments are the last resort of your team above, but they'll use it if all else fails. 3D time is up. The train is leaving the station. All aboard. We've got this. Where we go one, we go all. Love and light, Sierra. Full thought summary. The events unfolding in Indonesia are part of an undeclared cyber war in Asia. It is a police state where people resist and demonstrations occur almost daily. This is the reason why the Indonesian rupiah has fallen against the dollar. In China, a purge of military officers briefed by the dark side is underway. President Xi Jinping remains in charge. However, the Chinese economy is in free fall. Electricity generation fell 1.3% in January and February compared to the previous year, contradicting the official declaration of 5% growth. Other things of decline include falling housing prices, the proliferation of discount stores, and high youth unemployment. China is retaliating against Trump's tariffs by reducing purchases of cotton, large engine automobiles, and crude oil. The Chinese prevented the Lee family from selling the Panama Canal to BlackRock. However, China was also hit by an electromagnetic attack. Although the US still has electromagnetic weapons, China could eclipse the US Navy because it has 232 times more shipbuilding capacity. Together, China, South Korea, and Japan built more than 90% of the world's large commercial vessels, and China is the world's largest shipbuilder. However, the Chinese prefer to help the US rebuild its shipbuilding capacity rather than try to start a naval competition. Chinese couples hire American surrogates to give birth to their children in the US. After the birth, the couple returns to China with their child on a US passport. In the end, Americans, Chinese, and Russians will cooperate rather than fight, sources say. A Pentagon document suggests the US might not come to Europe's aid in the event of a Russian attack. Several sources say Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney has reached an agreement with Trump to create the United States of North America. Trump added that the discussion between the two leaders will end up being excellent for both the US and Canada. Canada is in the process of transitioning alongside the American corporation. The Union of Greenland also appears to be a done deal. Alina Habba issued a warning to anyone on Epstein's list. Those involved will be prosecuted. However, thousands of FBI agents working to release the Epstein videos have remained silent. It is said the information may never come to light because so many important people are involved. German MEP Christine Anderson says the deployment of the antigens will be remembered as the greatest crime against humankind. A Swedish researcher has shown that electromagnetic radiation from sources like Wi-Fi is causing the emergence of resistant bacteria. El Salvador shows what can be done. Soros and his accomplices have hit a wall in El Salvador, says President Bukele. 70% of Israelis say they do not trust Netanyahu, up from 27%. Intelligence agencies say there is no evidence that Iran is developing nuclear weapons. Iran could destroy Israel with hypersonic missiles in minutes. US aircraft carriers in the Red Sea were attacked by missiles and drones from Yemen. Iran's leader Khamenei claims that Palestine belongs to Muslims, Christians, and Jews. Iran's policy toward Israel is summed up as "Long live Judea." Israel has been saved for last to be replaced by Judea. 82,700 Jews left Israel in 2024, the highest immigration rate in decades. High-ranking officials have turned against their government. Are we witnessing the beginning of the end of Israel? Activist federal judge James Boasberg is giving Trump every legal headache, blocking everything he tries to do. Trump is restoring American history, which promoted liberty, individual rights, and human happiness. In Ireland, people are waking up and putting religion aside, as Catholics and Protestants united to demand an end to mass immigration. Utah has banned the addition of fluoride to drinking water. Mississippi just eliminated the income tax. astronaut Buzz Aldrin admits we never went to the moon. The truth is finally setting us free. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.